South Africans are eagerly awaiting the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup final between the Proteas as well as India. Stacey Holland continues to bring us all the action coming out of Rosebank at Joy-Jozi, where patrons have gathered to watch the final match. Now, Stacey, talk to us about what's happening there. I see now it's about 5 minutes after the time that the match was scheduled to start. What's happening where you are now?
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm out in Rosebank in Johannesburg. And as I mentioned earlier on throughout the morning, that there's been a hive of activity here because Cricket South Africa has organized a watch party. We all know that the Proteas Women have done us extremely proud. We're hoping for a fairy tale final in this ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. It's ODI 31 of 31. They're taking on India, who have also fought extremely hard to get into this final. They're one of the host nations, as you very well know, that it is being co-hosted between India and Sri Lanka as well. They had that epic semi-final against Australia. So we have two women's teams that make up an epic clash here because they're changing the trajectory of cricket globally. Formerly, Australia and England held these positions as the titans of women's sports, but that's starting to change now. And talking to someone who knows this full well is Sumayya. She's the former DDG of Sport and Recreation. And we were just speaking off air about how exciting this tournament has been. Exciting that South Africa is on the precipice of history. We know that they made history just by getting into this final. They possibly never even thought that they would get, to this position with the run-up that they had. But I spoke to the team earlier on, and they've been saying they're just taking it a day at a time, a match at a time. But in your words earlier on, this is so powerful for transformation, particularly for women in sport. Tell us more about that.
It's really a historical moment, and I feel very emotional about this. Because if you look at where women's cricket started in democratic South Africa in 1996 and where we've come through now, where women are playing professional cricket, it's just amazing. It gives me goosebumps. I feel very emotional about it.
Give us a sense of that start before you continue. What was it really like? We know about, the mini cricket camps for the men, but we perhaps are not fully aware of what was taking place for women's cricket.
Yeah, no, I think if you're talking about mini cricket, girls were playing mini cricket, and once they completed that phase, the boys went on to play hardball, and the girls started to ask, what about us? Yeah. And then we started to mobilize and say, girls want to now start playing cricket. And at that time, the UCB then started the women's cricket program from 1996. And I'm saying this very emotionally because, watching the under-19 girls playing for the first time in 2022, watching South Africa host, the World Cup in 2022 as well. And looking at each girl carrying their own bag to a time in 1996 where you had one bag, 4 bags, 4 pads, and all of us sharing it. So it was a very emotional thing to see where they've now come to. So I'm really excited. I'm really passionate about seeing this team and hoping that they win because it's really been a journey of grit and glory to get them where they are.
Ultimate determination. In fact, you're taking me back. I interned for the United Cricket Board all the way back, during those days. What do you think we can do, even by getting to this final? I think it's significant enough. What can we do to grow the women's sport before I let you go? What do you think needs to happen when our Proteas women come back, irrespective of what the ultimate result is?
I think, when they come back, not only when they come back, already you can see their strides. I mean, they're playing professional cricket. I mean, you can grow that. You can grow it at domestic level. There are teams that are playing already professionally. We just need to see more teams coming through. But ultimately, across the board for women's sport, I mean, this is such a great moment, to say that we're taking women's sport seriously now. Our team is in the final. So it means the next step for us is that there is a women in sport policy framework in place. So how do we now start to implement it? How do we get more women in leadership roles and get more women playing sport professionally? There's a whole issue of equal pay for work of equal value. So those are all the things we need to now look at quite seriously in the whole sphere of women's sport.
It was so lovely chatting to you. I wish we had more time. I've been speaking to Sumayya Khan. She's the former DDG of Sport and Recreation. Transformation is something that is close to her heart. And hopefully, as I mentioned, irrespective of the result here with the Proteas Women, that we'll start improving those transformation objectives as well. We'll be chatting to a number of people throughout the day. As I mentioned earlier as well, the toss was meant to happen at 11:30. It's been delayed by an hour. So for now, though, it's back to you guys in the studio.
Certainly all eyes and ears on that one. Stacey Holland there bringing us those conversations of hope and transformation in women's cricket. Thanks so much indeed for that update.